This lesson is called The Trading Journey, the Evolution of a Trader. And in this lesson, we're going to be talking about the trading journey and the realities of the markets and what realistic success milestones look like for most traders. So let's begin with a quote that I often say. The trading profession has a problem, and that's twofold. There's a low bar for entry and there's a high bar for success. And this dichotomy causes a number of traders to have fundamental misperceptions around what trading is really about and what it really takes to become successful for the long term. So in a few moments, we will review some of these fundamental market realities and truths that all traders need to accept so that they can appropriately set the right expectations and goals. So I'm going to launch right into it and share with you now the fundamental realities of trading. And first I want to share with you just, the most common journey for most traders. And this is the reality. In the beginning, you're going to lose a lot of money. You'll get better, you practice. If you're deliberate, you'll slowly develop some skill. And then after some time, you'll lose a little bit of money. Over time, you'll get to a place where you're breaking even. That is gross. It means you still are a net loser after or perhaps before commissions and data fees. And the really, really big milestone is when you get to the break-even point when you're net of those commissions, data fees, and maybe educational services. This is really, really one of the biggest milestones you can achieve as a trader. From there, you can proceed to making a little bit of money, and then you can move to making a lot of money. So I want to give you a reality check here. If you think you're somehow exempt from this journey, then I would venture to say that your goals probably don't match up with reality, and you're going to be doomed for disappointment and failure. If you somehow believe that you can leapfrog some of these steps because you're the exception to the rule, then unfortunately, you're probably setting yourself up for disappointment and a lot of pain. So let's go over some of these market realities now. And even if you're not a new trader, simply re-examining some of these realities can help you reevaluate your current situation and just give you a high level perspective around your trading and perhaps what's most important now. So first off, in trading, you are competing against the best of the best from day one. Trading is very different than most businesses. Let's say you were to open up a restaurant. You'd probably do quite well for yourself with your business if, let's say, you were the best pizza restaurant in your city or perhaps on your city block. But trading is a lot different than that. In trading, not only are you competing against traders on your block or in your city, you're competing against the best of the best in the world from day one. That is, those players have better technology, more capital, better training, a better back office, they have compliance, better resources, and so on and so on. That is a market reality. And this is why the game is so initially so difficult, and this is what makes the barrier to success so high from the get-go. Number 2, trading is a skill, and it's not learned via rote memorization. This is not a skill that can be learned by simply reading books, watching YouTube videos, and taking some paper trades or taking even a dozen trades or 100 trades. Trading is truly a challenging endeavor because it's truly a skill. Just like being a great concert pianist, it's not enough to simply memorize the notes. And unfortunately, our modern educational system is really biased towards this type of learning. In fact, really good trading, that is trading proficiently, involves understanding and developing 7 key areas. That's the theory, markets, technology, the system, the methodology, the psychology, the physical aspects of trading, as well as the social aspects. All of these things themselves cannot be done in 6 months' time, a year's time. This is something that has to be achieved over many cycles. The takeaway, though, is that good trading involves a constant development and kind of the recreation of self. And it's not a destination. And so there is no kind of end point, and there is no sort of end goal or finish line. Thirdly, the market rewards randomness. I've seen a number of traders who start out and make a great deal of money right from the beginning. But guess what? What usually happens? The markets take it all back. In fact, this is what happened to me. The lesson is that a great many traders confuse luck with skill. And in fact, they blame all their negative outcomes to external causes. This is actually what you would call the self-attribution bias. And so the market does a very, very good job at rewarding bad behavior. And oftentimes, your actual success is sowing the seeds for your failure. So we often need to have a higher level of perspective before we can realize that our own actions are actually impeding our progress. And if you want to read more about a great case example of a trader who managed to run a small account to millions of dollars before he lost it all again, there's a book called What I Learned Losing $1 Million. And it's a fantastic book recounting that trader's harrowing story. Nextly, most of us are not wired to accept the realities of the market. The reality is that most of us, we bring biases. We bring limiting beliefs to our trading. And we're just not equipped emotionally to handle the stresses of trading. In fact, most of us are wired to be averse to losses. That is, we're fearful when we should be greedy, and we're greedy when we should be fearful. The reality of the matter is that the best traders in the world are the best losers. That is, they're able to take their losses early before they become big losses. In fact, all big losses start off as small losses. But most of us shy away from this pain and discomfort around taking losses. And we're kind of uncomfortable and unable to emotionally cope with uncertainty. It's this improper wiring or the difficulty of the markets in which causes us to act against our best interests, which causes the marketplace to be so difficult for so many traders. There's a beautiful quote by Hemingway that says, "The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at those broken places." So, are you one of the exceptions? Notice how in the quote it says that some are stronger at the broken places. Not everyone. Sometimes the markets, they hurt you, and you don't bounce back. So, are you one of those exceptions who has the resilience to get back up when you're knocked down? Nextly, progress is an evolution and not a revolution. We all want to hear about the rags to riches stories. We all love hearing about the overnight success, the trader who made $1 million in one trade. The reality is that for most traders, progress is an evolution, not a revolution. If you did hear about some trader who made a large sum of money off of one trade, there's a very high likelihood that that person did not actually learn the lessons required to keep that money. So the takeaway here is to stop looking for home runs and to begin approaching trading as if it were a craft, as if you were a craftsman. Because becoming a professional trader is something that you must embody. That means consistently and diligently carrying out all the perfect practices of trading day in and day out and not taking shortcuts. So, if your results are not where you want them to be, then it's incumbent upon you to develop yourself as a trader. Because trading can be a powerful tool for self-development if you approach the markets with humility. Lastly, trading is something you do, but being a trader is someone you become. I hope that you see that now. The good news is that the road to proficiency is different than the road to mastery. Meaning you can become proficient in trading without having to dedicate the 10,000 hours. This all begins with the first step. The first step is, the sooner you stop searching for the Holy Grail, or blaming external events and circumstances, or looking for get-rich-quick schemes, the sooner you can truly begin to adopt the mind of a professional and begin taking the appropriate steps. Treat trading as a craft. I wish you all the best in your trading.